Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is the final 3 at 3 that we will be doing for this, the third week in July. And how do I know it's third week in July? Well, because it's options expiration. Every option class expires on the third week of the month. Some expire weekly. So in other words, last week was the 9th. Next week, it'll be the 23rd. You get the idea. If you have weekly options, and I'll mention a couple of those today, well, they expire at the end of the week. Some of them expire monthly and don't have weekly options. But let's dive in, shall we? It is the 16th of July, 2021. Disclaimer says that this is being presented for educational and informational purposes only. Oh, you know what? I got to bring my mic over because I'm probably too far away from the mic. All right, now I feel much better. Also, intellectual property rights. We have registered marks, trademarks, patents, and copyrights on almost everything you're about to see. So please, before you use it in a commercial venue, ask us. As far as non-commercial use, have at it. Bring it out there to anybody you want. First trade of the day. These guys have an anemia drug. My dad was big on kidney transplants, liver, pancreas as well. And he did an awful lot with rejection drugs, anti-rejection drugs. An anemia drug is something that these guys just got a very positive trial for one of their anemia drugs to treat kidney disease. And with the stock at $57, they had very strong buying of the December 60 calls for AZN, Astrazeneca. A lot of people get too focused on, oh, it's just about COVID and so forth. No, COVID, the drug companies make money certainly from those vaccinations and vaccines that they've created. And AstraZeneca, in fact, got a little hit with theirs rather than a pop. Because they were found to have some issues with one of those. And maybe that's why we can pick it up a little bit cheaper here. The 52-week high is $65. They're buying the 50, with the stock at 57, they're buying the 60 calls. So I bought these calls. I'm looking for upside out of this one. And there is a look. And as you see, and as I said, it peaked at about 65 not that long ago. And now it's more or less in the middle to upper end of its range for the year, 46 to 65. And on the day, it's been moving up. And I'd say it's also more or less in the middle of that range. Now let's talk about Home Depot. Why? Well, because they were buying upside calls and because retail sales have been so strong. So with the stock trading 326 earlier today, they were buying the next week expiration 325 calls. Now you will get a chance because the stock has sagged back to 323-ish. You'd get a chance that you could enter at a better price those 325 calls if you chose to, or buy more of an at the money 322.50s. That's what I bought just a little bit ago. 322.50 calls. They've traded about 1,000 contracts. Those 325 calls have traded over 10,000 contracts. So you could put yourself in a 1-to-1 bull call spread, 322.50 versus 325. You could do whatever you think is appropriate. I'm just giving you some ideas on how I trade these trades. There is a chart of Home Depot. And as you see, spiked up a couple times to around that 326-ish level. And if we get a return to that, these calls will be paying us dividends indeed. Third of our 3 at 3 is PVH. So PVH, parent company of the likes of North Face and so forth, they are buying upside calls, September 105 calls in PVH. And they're buying those calls with the stock at only, call it $98. So a lot of upside. They're seeing $7 worth of upside by September. Like it. I think this is one that we'd want to put an at the money again against those out of the money calls that are $7 full out of the money. So keep in mind that I rarely buy the out of the money call naked. I like selling a call against every call that I buy. Let's get to a couple questions. You can shoot them in at Jon Najarian, and we'll try to answer them here on air. Wake Up Bud asks, AMD. This one looks ready to blow through 100. Do you have positions in AMD, or you do? He's making the statement that I do have positions in AMD, and yes, I do. But I have written aggressively calls against it because semis have not been hot of late. Just in the last week to 10 days, this has not been the greatest time to own the semis. They peaked more or less the first week in July. Certainly this one did. It was $10 higher then. And I owned at the money calls then, thinking it would go through 100. I have rolled down and have sold upside calls against it, but I am still in them, Bud. It's more of a reach now for it to get to 100. Although it depends on your time frame. Let's talk about Walmart, WMT. We've had a lot of unusual option activity in Walmart. It is one of the favorites of mine in the retail space because no matter what strata you're in, lower, middle, not so much on the upper, but you probably have shopped at a Walmart. The target audience is more middle America, but nonetheless, depending which brand of Walmart you want to pick up something for your lake place or your vacation place, these guys get a lot more sort of Costco-ish shoppers as we go through the summer. So Ara, whose handle is at Ara Stock Trader, says, what are your thoughts on Walmart? I am holding December at the money calls. All right, we have had unusual activity recently. We had the 6th of August expiration. They were buying the 136 calls. That was that much in the money. Stock was 138 at the time. Then when the stock moved to 140, they rolled up to the 141 calls, and then they moved up to the 145 calls. So a lot of activity in Walmart. I like it. I am still long this name along with Target, although a lot of my stuff is going to roll off because this is options expiration, a regular options expiration. As I said, top of the show, every third week is an options expiration, the third week of that month. So I will probably be out of a lot of the positions, but not this one. I will still be holding Walmart into earnings, and I am long the stock right now, Ara. Rick asks, John, are you still in IGT calls? Spread that was out in the future. How about LVS? Gaming sector continued to get hammered. Yes, it has. And I talked about MGM yesterday with the put buying there. Talked about Las Vegas Sands recently as well, and there's put buying in this one. IGT isn't a casino operator, but they are dependent on them because most of these slot machine companies, you may or may not already know this, get a royalty from selling their product to the casinos. So they don't get the full value of that slot machine when they sell it. They get a revenue stream, a royalty, if you will, on every pull that goes through that machine. So they're dependent on Vegas too. So since Vegas has been soft, IGT has been soft, and I have exited that trade. So I am no longer in IGT, but I am still in MGM and a couple other of the gaming stocks themselves. Let's say, I hope you guys have a very enjoyable weekend. MarketRebellion.com/get started is how you can see exactly how we're doing what we do. Whether that's just as a novice, you want to learn about options trading, stock trading, cryptocurrency trading, go to MarketRebellion.com/get started. You can also see our various offerings for subscription products right there on that website as well. I hope you have a good one, folks. I will see you back here Monday. Till then, adios.